The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to another episode of Speaking with the Senator. I'm Senator Kevin Avard, representing District 12. And we're doing a follow-up interview with Jana El-Sayed, and you are Miss Goffstown.
I am.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me back.
Oh, it's interesting because you're still engaged in what we talked about last time. Number one, you are still singing to the kids.
I am.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So my platform has actually expanded. Jana's PD Hope organization. I created a website along with adding 4 different hospitals since we've last talked. And
Boston
Children's Hospital being one of the big ones. I had already been fundraising for them and doing appearances, but I actually got into the hospital to see the children on awards. So that was amazing.
How is that process to do that? Who did you talk to?
Actually, through social media and word of mouth, a mother found me. Her 4-year-old little girl had immediate surgery, and she was from the Pelham area, and she really just wanted Elsa to come and see her child. She was very, very sick and in a lot of pain, and unfortunately, after surgery, she really did not want to get up and walk. After surgery, it's very important to get up and walk so that you can recover. Elsa made an appearance, and I sang to her, and then I got her up and walking, and we went for a walk. So that was great.
So Elsa is you,
Yes.
dressed as the Winter Queen of...
Yes, the Disney princess Elsa from Frozen.
And you say, and when she first heard you, how did she respond?
Well, she knew that I was coming, and she told her mom, my best friend's coming, Elsa's coming. So she was already very excited. Like I said, she was in a lot of pain, though, so it was touch and go. She was on morphine as well, so when the morphine starts to wear off, you are in a lot of pain.
So, but you got her up, and you brightened up somebody's day.
And she's back home now.
Wow. And to get in, that was very persistent of you to get into the hospital. That's good.
I always say, if you want to contact me on my Facebook Miss Goffstown page or find me on my Instagram or connect through my website, that I am always willing to drop everything and go to a hospital to see a child.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. So before you came on the show today, you went to singing lessons.
I did.
Yuck.
Getting ready for Miss New Hampshire.
Yeah. And what are we going to sing, or are you allowed to say that?
Oh, I've already announced it, so it's good. I'm singing You Raise Me Up. I'm doing a classical rendition of it, and I'm actually singing half of it in Italian.
A classical rendition.
Yes, so I've been taking classical vocal lessons since I was in 5th grade. So for me, it was important this year to be my authentic Jana self, competing for the title, and my dream to become Miss New Hampshire. So that meant going back to my roots and really having my classical tone back and just focusing on that.
And why Italian? Just kidding. Good. I have some good friends that are Italian, so that's fine. Volcino's, yeah, the great winery in Hollis, New Hampshire. Anyway, no, why did you pick Italian?
Well, in high school, I sang a lot of Italian. I was in the B Naturals at Elvern High School, and we lived and breathed music and choir, and we were always doing all-state, so Italian was a language that I learned to sing with, and Michelle Henderson, my vocal teacher, she really had instilled that into me, so I was ready to jump on with the opportunity and hopefully impress the judges with it.
Nice. Now, Michelle does lessons in Nashua.
And Hudson.
And Hudson. Yes. And what's her name?
Michelle Henderson, so it's the Henderson and Carey Vocal Studio.
And so is she picking up new students?
Yes, always.
We'll have to have her come on the show and talk about what she does.
Oh my goodness, you should. She's amazing.
Yeah. I told you that I went to lessons and I didn't do so well.
You should go back.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. But anyway, so welcome back, and I'm glad that you're still engaged with that. So you're going to be trying out for Miss New Hampshire.
Yes, I am. It's 2 weeks away. It's the 26th and 27th for preliminaries, and the 28th is finals.
And so you get to the finals and you become Miss New Hampshire, and then of course then you go for Miss USA.
Miss America.
Oh, Miss America.
Yes.
All right, good for you. I should know this, right? I don't know. So If you become Miss New Hampshire, why is that important?
So Miss New Hampshire is very important because it's the leading scholarship program for women in the country. At the Miss New Hampshire state level, we give out over $70,000 just at the finals of Miss New Hampshire. It's also a community service oriented program. So all of us have individual platforms along with working with Children's Miracle Network as the national platform. So we're in our communities and we are making a difference for the state of New Hampshire.
So you give out 74,000?
We give out over $70,000 in scholarship dollars to the 28 girls competing,
Oh.
plus everything that you make at the local level as well. So you win a local title. There's 28 local titles. So 28 women will win, and that's their ticket to Miss New Hampshire, and you win scholarship dollars when you win that title as well.
And what will you use your scholarship for if you win?
So I'm currently finishing up undergrad, so I'm doing that. I'm debt-free right now thanks to this program. I've won over $25,000 through the Miss New Hampshire organization. Overall goal, I want to finish my degree in psychology. I want to become certified to become a child life specialist, and then I want to go to chiropractic school because I want to be a chiropractor.
Okay. So where does the psychology come in? Is it in dealing with the children?
So to become a chiropractor, you have to go to a doctor of chiropractic. So you need specific courses. So I've already taken all of the science courses that I need to be able to qualify to go to chiropractic school. But with my passion for my platform being so strong, I decided that I also wanted to get a degree in psychology that would set me up to become a child life specialist as well.
So if you become Miss New Hampshire, are you going to have time to do that?
So I will take the year off from school. Miss New Hampshire is a full-time job, and I will prepare for Miss America, along with traveling the state, meeting all different walks of life, and really promoting community service, Jana's PD Hope Organization, Children's Miracle Network, and just making an impact on the state.
Do you go to children's homes at all to do the singing?
I've done that in the past. Actually, this past weekend I went to David's house. I'm not sure if you know what David's house is.
No.
So David's house is not directly affiliated with CHAD, but it's a home for families that have children that are being hospitalized. So these are siblings and then parents that have children in the hospital that are sick, and it's a home for them to stay cost-free for as long as they need. They have a shower, a roof over their head, and home-cooked meals. So I've done that. I try to serve and promote my platform along with anything else. I mean, I work with veterans. I did 30 days of thanks. I'm really interested in service in all different aspects.
Yeah. And you just picked up 3 hospitals. How many hospitals do you have now?
I probably have connected with over 12 hospitals in this area. I've also been asked to go to Florida. I have been to California.
So we want you to stay in New Hampshire. We need to keep the youth here.
Of course. Oh, I know we do. Definitely, we have to keep everyone here. But I have promoted my platform and made it a national-based program because I know how important it is. Child life and child life specialist programs are something that are fairly new. When I was a baby and I was sick, and throughout my childhood in and out of hospitals, I didn't have child life programs to keep me happy and keep me hopeful that there was positive things in my future. So now that I have the opportunity to give that to children, I want to be able to do so.
So people that didn't see our first interview don't realize that you had a tough upbringing.
Yes.
You want to go back into that a little?
Of course. I was born with persistent pulmonary hypertension and meconium aspiration. I was very, very sick with sick lungs. I was actually airlifted to CHAD, and they didn't have the necessary equipment to save my life, so then I was ambulanced to Boston Children's Hospital. I went code blue upon arrival, and I was put on ECMO, which stands for extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, which was pretty much a ventilator and did the work of my heart and lungs for me for 3.5 days. There was about a 20% chance of survival. I had all different types of complications from that, whether it be a hip deformity, a destroyed carotid artery, and my body having to reroute how oxygen got to my brain. But I took that at a young age and decided that I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to overcome that and do something for other children. And that's where my platform started from.
And that's where you get your passion from.
Yes.
So do you remember it well?
I definitely remember all of the hospital trips. I remember being the girl that was always leaving school to go to different specialists, whether it be up at CHAD or at Boston Children's Hospital. I remember my hip surgery, having to be the girl in the wheelchair for 6 weeks. All those different things at the time seemed like such setbacks for me, and having a hip deformity meant that I couldn't be a cheerleader or a dancer like all my friends were. So at the time, it seemed like such a negative thing, because when you're a child, you don't understand how precious life is. About 14, when I found my passion for singing and for basketball, I realized that, oh, there are other things that I can do and that I can succeed with. along with school. I was always really strong in academics because that was something that I knew I could do, and it didn't have setbacks from my previous history. So that's when I decided I'm going to make a difference, and I created Jana's PD Hope organization.
So what sparked your interest at 14 to become a singer?
Well, I started vocal lessons in 5th grade, but around 14 is when I was like, ooh, I can take everything I love and put it all together. So 14 was when I started singing at hospitals and doing different events and fundraisers. I would be different princesses at birthday parties just to raise money for Boston Children's Hospital. I was always trying to find new, innovative ways to fundraise and do something to make an impact.
So you were on a radio show this morning.
I was.
What's better, radio or TV?
I like TV.
There you go.
I would love to be a news anchor.
Yeah?
Secret dream.
Fox News, you never know. If you watch Fox News. So, keep that in mind. So what did you talk about today on the radio show?
Well, Miss New Hampshire is coming up. Miss New Hampshire being so close, the end of April. We talked about preparing for it. I am in the crunch time zone where I am finishing up my talent. I am practicing walking in my big heels for swimsuit and
You got to
evening
practice
gown.
that?
I
Well, actually, I couldn't walk in heels.
want to look good. Yeah, I got to practice it. Practicing interview, getting ready for that. I mean, interview is so important. It's a 10-minute private interview with the judges, and anything is fair game. So I'm watching the news, I'm keeping up with current events, and I'm really just getting ready for Miss New Hampshire right now.
What was the radio show you were on?
I was on Lynn Briggs' show, and it
Conservative Chicks?
was, I'm not sure if that was this episode, but it was on 1590. So.
15, Nashua. In
Yes.
Nashua. It's a good service, yeah. So when you're in front of the judges and you're sitting there, you don't have any notes, do you?
No, we do not. They have notes on us, though.
Oh, they do?
Yes, we send in a platform and a resume, so they can ask questions about that, or they can go off and do whatever they want, whether it be current events or social issues as well.
Do you envision them going off into some current events and some social issues that'll be difficult?
Difficult, no, but yes, I do think they're going to do that. I always have a rather serious interview, whether it be talking about my platform or answering current event questions, because I'm very passionate about my opinions and I love to be able to share them. And that's something this program does instill in us, to have opinions and be able to public speak well. So that's something that I've been working on.
What are your sources to keep informed?
I know a lot of us use the Skim, so that's really quick. Have you heard about the Skim?
No, I have not.
So the Skim, you can get daily emails, and it's just little tidbits of what's going on.
Skim?
Yeah, the Skim, check it out. It just gives you a little bit of what's going on, and a lot of it is what Fox News and CNN aren't necessarily covering, but is current, and they do it in a way where it's very friendly for millennials, I think. So that's a good way to do it. I watch Fox News, I have the apps to read them, and I'm always just trying to keep up with it, along with New Hampshire news as well.
Yes, you got the current events. Interesting. So you're sitting in front of a bunch of judges. They're gonna. How many judges?
5.
Are they intimidating?
It depends. I haven't met them yet, but sometimes, usually there's one mean judge, like the mean judge, where they're trying to be very hard and they're not going to smile at you and they're not going to give you any emotion to let you know how you're doing. But for the most part, they want you to succeed. They just want to get to know you.
So after the interview, what goes on then?
So I'll do my interview on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to compete in talent and onstage question, which is about my platform. Friday, I will do swimsuit and evening gown, and that will lead us to Saturday, where we dwindle down from 28 to the 12, to the 8, to the
Yikes.
5, to Miss New Hampshire.
All right. So when you're in this competition, is there like, you know, the
I don't think so. I made a lot of good friends in the program. I think that the great thing about Miss New Hampshire is all these women are very intelligent, independent, and community service oriented women. So we already have that in common. So it's very easy to be able to connect at that level because we are so driven.
like, Hollywood shows a different side, you know, like the cat fights or whatever, and it's clawback.
It's a group of women. I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of it, but I think for the most part, we are a sisterhood, and I'm very happy to be a part of that sisterhood.
Supporting each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's good. Some people poo-poo the idea of, well, you're exploiting beauty, and you don't see it that way.
We don't even call it a pageant anymore. We call it a scholarship program. So The most beautiful girl doesn't always win or doesn't even make the top 5. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, the way the scoring works, interview and talent weigh the most. So that has absolutely nothing to do with beauty. There is a swimsuit portion, but swimsuit is the least scoring out of the top 4 categories besides onstage question. And that's more about overall health and just staying fit, because you are an ambassador for women across the country and for your state. So you want to show that you care about yourself enough to take care of yourself.
So what are some women's issues that you think need to be discussed if that is part of your platform? Are there things that you seem to be on the top of the headlines these days?
Well, I think that everyone's trying to say that women need to break the glass ceiling, and I think that was something that came across when Hillary Clinton was running for president. I honestly believe that the biggest thing for me is if a woman is strong enough to do something and they are the best candidate, that they should be chosen. But I do not think that we should lower something down just to accept women into it. So I want to be able to say that I deserved it and I was the best candidate for the job. So that's my standpoint on it. But I do think that women and men should be paid the same if they're doing the same job.
What do you think of Carly Fiorina?
So that's interesting. My mom worked for Hewlett Packard.
Did she really?
So she had a very different opinion than most people did. And I had a backstory, so I can't say that I was the biggest supporter.
Okay.
But as for women running, I think New Hampshire is a prime example that women can be in politics. I mean, we have so many women representing our state.
Well, Hillary wasn't the only woman in the field.
She wasn't.
So,
she got more spotlight, but
she got a lot more spotlight.
yes,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So what do you want our viewers to take away from our interview today?
I think I would love for people to realize that the Miss New Hampshire organization is not a beauty pageant, and that a lot of people, when they see the crown, they start laughing, or they don't understand what we're doing, or they think, oh, like she thinks she's a princess. Like, they have this connotation of what pageants are, but we are such strong women that are really incorporating the 4 points of the crown: style, service, success, and scholarship. And we are trying to embody a role model for women and for little girls across the state of New Hampshire, and men. But I think that we're just a group of women that really want to succeed, and we're the future leaders of America.
And you want to go to chiropractic school.
I do.
Why do you want to be a chiropractor?
Well, I think the nervous system is the most important system of the body, just like a lot of doctors would agree. I've had several concussions, 9 to be exact, from playing basketball and just being an overall klutz. And a car accident. And I went to a chiropractor because of my concussions and because I had a neck issue. And to see the x-rays and the proof that chiropractic does work was enough for me, along with the fact that I am not always the one that says, oh, I want to take tons of medications for the rest of my life, or I want to be taking all these different vaccines that we really don't know much about yet. So for chiropractic to be able to take someone that's taking all these different painkillers for their back and alleviate the pain without them taking those medications, and seeing at my chiropractic office, there's a huge tub and people just put their prescription bottles in when they no longer need to use them anymore because they're no longer in pain. That's pretty cool. My mom's a prime candidate of that. She was somebody that was supposed to have a surgery where she would have a plate put right here and wouldn't be able to move her neck. They told her it had to be done. It was the only way. She's been going to a chiropractor. She no longer needs that surgery.
Really? Wow.
It's easy to say that you don't believe in it, but until you've actually gone and seen the results.
Well, I believe in it. My uncle was a chiropractor, and he was a well-known chiropractor in Manchester. But there was a period of time where they were considered to be quacks.
I know, and unfortunately, it's still something that I hear. I'll be talking to someone, they'll ask me about my career goals, and I'll say that I want to be a chiropractor, and they immediately look at me like, so you didn't want to go to med school. So then I'm frustrated, and I got to explain myself, of course. But yes, that's still something that's very relevant.
So tell me a little bit about the education curriculum to become a chiropractor.
Of course, you have to take the normal science classes for undergrad that you would have to take if you wanted to go to medical school. Chiropractic school is a doctor of chiropractic degree. It's considered grad school. It's 3.5 years year-round, so pretty equivalent to medical school, and you're taking all different anatomy courses. And then it gets a little bit more hands-on towards your last 2 years, but it really sets you up for success, and I see myself owning my own practice.
Okay. Are you going to intern anywhere?
That's the plan. I have a lot of connections with chiropractors. Former Miss New Hampshire is my chiropractor, so I know she's willing to have me on board when I'm ready.
So somebody's a role model here.
Yes. And the great thing about Miss America is they had a partnership with Sherman Chiropractic. So if I were to win Miss New Hampshire, I have a free ride to my dream.
Well, good luck to you on that. Good.
Thank you.
And you want to help people.
I do. That's my goal. I think from a young age, that's always been my goal. I was the little girl that at 4 years old was shopping in the clearance rack with my mom, trying to find different things to send over to Romania for orphanages. So that's something that's always been a part of me. And I've just found different ways to add it into my life. I definitely have a servant's heart.
Good. You got me there. Well, thanks for coming on the show. And if
course.
people want to get in contact with you, how do they do it?
So I have Miss Goffstown on Facebook and Instagram. I also have my own website. If you Google Jana's PD Hope Organization, you'll find my website, which further dives into my platform, the 5 pillars of child life, all the things that I'm up to, a contact for me, and if you want me at a hospital to see your child, that's a great way to connect. Along with going to missnewhampshire.org and buying tickets for the show, you can see me compete for my dream along with the other 27 women.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right. If you want to send her some support, you want to help her, cheer her on, or follow her, give her a try. And let's be rooting for Miss Goffstown. And we hope that we can see you be successful in helping others. Good job. Until next week, thanks for watching Speaking with the Senator.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.